Hello and welcome back to another bullet journal mini. This one we have Lies and Weddings by Kevin Kwan. It is the second book in a series of standalones. I don't know if there's going to be more books, but there's currently two. The first one is called Sex and Vanity, and this one is Lies and Weddings. And it's a similar, universe to the Crazy Rich Asians book series, except, instead of a full series, you just have these standalone stories. So you have the main characters, Eden and Rufus. Eden is a doctor. She's more of the regular person, and she's grown up best friends with the other main character, Rufus, who is secretly in love with Eden, and a bunch of shenanigans ensue. And basically, I don't even know. There's so many, there's certain tropes because I've read several of Kevin Kwan's books. There's certain tropes or character archetypes that he likes to use, where you have the more normal, regular girl who is the main character, and then her love interest is this wealthy man from this almost other world. They're so rich and so privileged, and but he's super humble and down to earth. He's not like the other rich boys, he gives those vibes. And then they fall in love, and their love is they have to fight for it because they're from two different worlds and people don't want them to be together. And the reason that Rufus's mother, Arabella, who was your quintessential snobby rich woman, she does not want Rufus and Eden to be together, is because turns out their family's actually broke, and they're running out of money, and she's trying to marry off her kids to these rich people in order to pay off their debts. But her first daughter, whose marriage happens at the beginning of the book, that guy, turns out his family isn't actually rich, and they're posers just like Arabella's family. And then he runs off, he wasn't that great. And now she's turned her attentions to Rufus, to marry him off to someone rich. And Arabella's whole thing, she's really snobby. She's really almost a self-hater. She's really racist to her own people. And that's kind of her journey, is realizing that. And then with Eden, she's on this whole journey of self-discovery, of finding out about her mother, who passed away when she was a kid, and realizing that these people that she grew up with are not as considerate of her and her life and her career as she had been towards them, and that they are doing things that are actively hurting her, but they don't care because it's a different world. They don't have the same consequences that she does. And so she's kind of realizing maybe she doesn't need to be around all of these people. And in so many of these other similar stories, you find out at the end, here's a major spoiler, Eden finds out that her mother was actually super rich, and Eden ends up becoming a billionaire at the end of the book. And then she's able to save the family with her money, and now she's part of this world that she was previously hating. And then Rufus doesn't have to confront his privilege of he talks the talk, but if you actually lost all of your money and all of your wealth and privilege, would you actually be able to survive and be okay? Because I think not. And that was actually one of my favorite moments in the book, was when his mother was who do you think pays for your eco whatever cabin in Hawaii and all this stuff? You act like you're too good for the money and that you're better than the rest of us, but you're spending the money jet setting and doing whatever just the same as the rest of us. you know, you're just not as materialistic or whatever. And I kind of was hoping that there would be no money at the end, and then, you know, Rufus would have to what's that saying, you know, I don't know what the saying is, you know, but like live up to the words that he's been preaching. But no, the happy ending was that instead of, you know, Eden and Rufus becoming normal people together and like living a regular life, Eden becomes a billionaire and they get to continue living their crazy, awesome, like super privileged and wealthy life. But it's still a fun read, super fun if you're really into like fashion and like interior design, because the author does a great job of like describing things and like naming real designers and everything like that, where you can get like a clear picture of what is happening, like the imagery. He's so good at like painting a picture of a landscape. So fun. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the book. Have a nice rest of your day, night, evening. Bye.